Hey, fellow ballers, I've had a lot of people ask me about how I decide what position to go into, when I go into it, and all that stuff. And I'm going to just flat out share that with you right now. It's pretty simple, actually. What I do is, first off, from 9:30 in the morning when the market opens to 3:30 in the afternoon, I don't really look at the market at all. I have a little tiny like an app on the top of my computer where I can see the number, and occasionally I'll glance at it, but I don't really care. I don't really look at things like announcements and policy changes and earnings reports. I don't care really about any of that, because what happens between 9:30 and 3:30 doesn't impact me. I look at 3:30. So what will happen is I will set up, and I showed a picture of my setup. You can see it. I kind of get my screens going, usually around 3:25. And I'll sit there and I'll just kind of watch things, and I probably am eating like Doritos or chips or something I shouldn't be, but that's usually what happens. And then around 3:31, 3:32, Magic 8 Ball will give a prediction. And that is the prediction that I hold on to. Now, what I will do though is I'll kind of scroll back a little bit, and if 8 Ball has been calling the same or pretty close to the same type of prediction for the last, let's say, 15, 20 minutes, that's a good sign. But occasionally I'll look back and it'll go from call to put, back to call, back to put. It's kind of bouncing around. When I see that, there's a good chance I'm going to just walk away. This is not my day. I'm not participating in this. If the algorithm can't even figure out how this thing's going to end, I'm not going to follow suit with that. So assuming, like on this past Monday, that, it was very stable, and he was actually calling the exact same thing from about 3:15 all the way to 3:30. He was calling the same position. So I felt good. Now, over the day, it had been going up. And in many cases, as it goes up, you'll get what I call a snap. And a snap basically is kind of like an elastic band. That's how I view it, right? Everything's going up, and then it'll drop. If it's going up, by the way, it'll drop, or if it's going down, it'll go up. But in this case, it was going up. The market was going up, and there'd be a drop. And like an elastic band, it would drop and then snap back up and then continue on its way. So I look for a snap. Some people call it a pullback. I call it a snap because it drops down and then goes back up really quick. There's usually a snap of some type. It's sometimes it's small, maybe 3 or 4 points. Sometimes it's bigger, maybe 7, 8, or even 10 points, which can get kind of scary. But if you get in at the right time on a snap, instead of making, let's say, 60 cents or 80 cents, you might be able to make like $2.50, maybe even $3 or something. So that's what I was waiting for. I was waiting for that snap. It went down a little bit. I thought it would go down more. I didn't get in. I waited too long. This is what happened on Monday. I waited too long and it just shot up. And then all of a sudden, instead of making like $1 or 80 or 90 cents, I was making like 30 cents. And as a personal policy, I will not get in on 30 cents. It's not that I'm being greedy. It's that if you get in for 30 or 40 cents and things do kind of go south on you, they go against you, that loss can pile up super crazy fast. I mean, at 40 cents, you can hit 3 or 4 or 5x like that. So as a policy, I try to get in for at least $1 just to give me a little bit of wiggle room. If things do go south, it won't be 2 or 3x that quickly. And that's kind of it. So I refer back to the 3:30. I hold on to that 3:30, but I get in when things feel right. And sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. This past Monday, yesterday, it did not work. I ended up not getting in, but most days it works. So there you go.